Throw an error preventing a table update in a MySQL trigger. If I have a trigger before the update on a table, how can I throw an error that prevents the update on that table? As of MySQL 5.5, you can use the signal syntax to throw an exception. Signal SQL state 45,000 set message underscore text equals my error message. State 45,000 is a generic state representing unhandled user-defined exception. Here is a more complete example of the approach. Delimiter. Use test. Create table trigger underscore test. Id int not null. // Drop trigger if exists trg underscore trigger underscore test underscore ins. Create trigger trg underscore trigger underscore test underscore ins before insert on trigger underscore test. For each row, begin. Declare MSG varchar 128. If new.id less than 0, then set MSG equals concat. My trigger error. Trying to insert a negative value in trigger underscore test. Single quote. Cast. New.id as char. Signal SQL state 45,000 set message underscore text equals MSG. End if. End. // Delimiter. Run the following as separate statements. Insert into trigger underscore test values. 1. -1. 2. Everything fails as one row is bad. Select asterisk from trigger underscore test. Insert into trigger underscore test values. 1. Succeeds as expected. Insert into trigger underscore test values. -1. Fails as expected. Select asterisk from trigger underscore test. Here is one hack that may work. It isn't clean, but it looks like it might work. Essentially, you just try to update a column that doesn't exist. Unfortunately, the answer provided by @ruidc does not work in MySQL versions prior to 5.5 because there is no implementation of Signal for stored procedures. The solution I've found is to simulate a signal throwing a table underscore name doesn't exist error. Pushing a customized error message into the table underscore name. The hack could be implemented using triggers or using a stored procedure. I describe both options below following the example used by @ruidc. Using triggers. Delimiter $. Before inserting new id. Drop trigger if exists before underscore insert underscore id $. Create trigger before underscore insert underscore id. Before insert on test for each row. Begin. Condition to check. If new.id less than 0, then hack to solve absence of signal, prepared statements and triggers. Update backquote error. Invalid underscore id underscore test backquote set x equals 1. End if. End $. Delimiter. Using a stored procedure. Stored procedures allows you to use dynamic SQL, which makes possible the encapsulation of the error generation functionality in one procedure. The counterpoint is that we should control the application's insert, update methods. So they use only our stored procedure, not granting direct privileges to insert, update. Delimiter $. My underscore signal procedure. Create procedure backquote my underscore signal backquote. In underscore error text varchar. 255. Begin. Set at SQL equals concat. Update backquote. In underscore error text. Backquote set x equals 1 foot. Prepare my underscore signal underscore stmt from @SQL. Execute my underscore signal underscore stmt. Deallocate prepare my underscore signal underscore stmt. End $. Create procedure insert underscore test. P underscore id int. Begin. If new.id less than 0, then call my underscore signal. Error. Invalid underscore id underscore test. ID must be a positive integer. Else. Insert into test. Id. Values. P underscore id. End if. End $. Delimiter. The following procedure is on MySQL 5, a way to throw custom errors and log them at the same time. Create table MySQL underscore error underscore generator. Error underscore field varchar. 64. Unique. Engine INNODB. Delimiter $. Create procedure throw custom error. In error text varchar. 44. Begin. Declare error with date varchar. 64. Select concat. Quote. Date underscore format. Now. %y%m%d%t. Comma quote. Quote. Error text. Into error with date. Insert ignore into MySQL underscore error underscore generator. Error underscore field. Values. Error with date. Insert into MySQL underscore error underscore generator. Error underscore field. Values. Error with date. End. $. Delimiter. Call throw custom error. Custom error message with log support. Create trigger sample underscore trigger underscore MSG. Before insert. For each row. Begin. If. New. Important underscore value. Less than. 1 asterisk 2. Then. Declare dummy int. Select. Enter your message here. Into dummy. From mytable. Where mytable.id equals new.id. End if. End. Another hack method. If you are not on 5.5 plus for some reason that you can use. If you have a required field, then within a trigger set the required field to an invalid value such as null. This will work for both insert and update. Do note that if null is a valid value for the required field, for some crazy reason, then this approach will not work. Begin. Force one of the following to be assigned, otherwise set required field to null, which will throw an error. If new nullable underscore field underscore 1 is null and new nullable underscore field underscore 2 is null, then set new required underscore id underscore field equals null. End if. End. If you are on 5.5 plus, then you can use the signal state as described in other answers. Begin. Force one of the following to be assigned, otherwise use signal SQL state to throw a unique error. If new nullable underscore field underscore 1 is null and new nullable underscore field underscore 2 is null, then signal SQL state 45,000 set message underscore text equals a unique identifier for nullable underscore field underscore 10R. Nullable underscore field underscore 2 is required. Single quote. End if. End. Delimiter at. Drop trigger if exists trigger underscore name at. Create trigger underscore name. Before update on table underscore name. For each row. Begin. The condition of error is if new update value of the attribute age equals 1 and old value was 0. Keyword old and new let you distinguish between the old and new value of an attribute. If new state equals 1 and old state equals 0, then signal SQL state minus 20,000 set message underscore text equals hey, it's an error. Single quote. End if. End it at. Delimiter.